Alright, everyone. Time now is 1:06. Actually, it's 1:07 a.m. in the morning on November 15th. I'm going to make it quick. So, this is a bit of a special detour video. Normally, you see vlogs on this channel, but nobody's going to watch this video, by the way, anyways. But if you are, well, congratulations. But I have some thoughts on emptiness and nothingness, and I am going to voice them out right now. I've been meaning to make this video for some time. Also, excuse my laptop for screaming. Um, so I've been feeling this since late October. Around October 21st, 22nd, I started to realize how empty I am of a person. And that's because my life at Santa Monica in LA is over. And I came back to Hong Kong thinking that I'm finally a stronger person. And I am now capable of making lots of friends and maybe even charming people. Now I'm capable of making connections and being successful and climb the ladder. And now I can come back to Hong Kong and do the same thing I did in LA. And maybe I'm going to find success. And boy, was I wrong. Um, I think I've changed. I think going to LA and living in LA for the last 1.5 years changed me. That's true. And I do think I've become stronger of a person. And I've never said this before in my whole life. I've I've become stronger, I believe, which is a very crazy statement. I always hate myself. I always have no respect for myself. But I think after round three, aka the first half of 2023, I think I've gained self respect for the first time in a very long time. But just because I have self respect doesn't mean all my issues and all my pains and all my grievances have just magically disappeared. That's not how it works. Of course, it's never that simple. I'm still not happy. So, I think, first of all, this is the first time in my whole life, or the first time since I was 3 years old, I think, when I don't need to study for this long of a time. This is basically a gap year, or a gap half a year, gap semester, if you will. I don't need to study. I don't have school. I don't need to wake up early. And then I go to work. I have part time jobs. I found myself four part time jobs. The first one is basically me cheating. The second one is barely a job. The third and fourth one gets canceled all the times. And so the moment those jobs get canceled, for instance, tutoring, I have luckily found a couple of tutoring cases where I can be the English tutor for a couple of students. But they cancel on me. And I start to realize that whenever they do that, I have nothing to do. I just stay at home, stay in my bedroom. I'm back in this tiny, tiny room all over again. And I slowly started to realize that this is literally me. When Santa Monica was over, when Film 33 was over, I'm soulless because ever since I stepped foot in LA, I have been anticipating Film 33, and my personality is entirely built around that. Outside of Film 33, I don't have a lot of friends, I don't have any romantic relationships, I don't have hobbies outside of films. Like, I literally film is my entire life. People ask me what's my hobby. Outside of film, I don't have one. I'm sorry. I watch movies. If I'm not watching movies, then I'm reviewing movies. If I'm not reviewing movies, then I'm planning to make a short film, or I'm writing a script, or I'm just looking at movie trailers, or something like that. My entire life is movie, movie, movie. That's my whole life. And outside of film, I'm empty and I'm nothing all over again. And Around October 24th, October 25th, I started to enter a very sad period, and I slowly, progressively got sadder and sadder. Um, I just didn't know what to do. I just felt really plain. I felt that I'm doing nothing by staying in Hong Kong. I'm not making anything. I'm not doing anything productive. You know, I tried to visit film sets. There's a film set produced by Fruit Chan, who is a director that I kind of look up to because he's made a couple of very amazing films. Made in Hong Kong and The Longest Summer, which I think are both 9 out of 10s. But I go to that set for 2 hours, I stand at the side, and I watch them. I gain nothing. I don't meet any new people. I gain zero. I go to Indeed Job Search, and I found this film workshop place. It's really cool. I did a job interview with the CEO. It went well, but that led to nowhere because the CEO wouldn't respond back to my emails. Or just email. Like, he didn't hire me or anything. I tried to go to Facebook groups in Hong Kong because that's very common for film people in Hong Kong to meet each other through Facebook groups. But truth is, 99.9% of all the posts in those Facebook groups are for hiring actors and are for looking for actors. The truth is, the landscape of filmmaking in Hong Kong is such a wasteland, it's such a desert, that I just have nothing here. And that's true. I just came back from LA. LA is literally the hub of entertainment in the entire world. And here it's like a wasteland in comparison. That's true. But I just thought I could make connections here. I could finally, in the future, when I come back to Hong Kong and make Hong Kong films, maybe I have connections here. And that's a very valid reason to try to expand here as well. Imagine going into two separate film industries in two separate countries at the same time. Like, that's crazy. On top of that, I wanted to meet people. I wanted to meet new people, explore, and finally be someone who I've always wanted to be in Hong Kong. To have a lot of people around me, to be successful, to be known. But the truth is, it's not that easy. In fact, it's not easy at all. I have done nothing by being here. The first couple of weeks of being in Hong Kong is amazing. I got to relax. I got to eat good food, sleep. But it's like I've overstayed my welcome and I felt useless. But what's even sadder is that in LA, I'm not happy. I'm surviving a day at a time. I'm eating garbage for food. I'm barely getting enough sleep. I'm living dollar by dollar because of the crazy tuition that I have to pay as an international student. The public transportation is shit. The people, I don't know the people. I don't know the city. And every single day I'm struggling. It's in here I have my family and my friends and streets that I'm familiar with. I'm embraced. I feel like coming back to Hong Kong is like being in a big warm hug. Out there in LA, it's cold. It's cold. Nothing but ashes. It's like the trenches. It's like a battlefield. It's not home. I struggle. The shit I do, man. The shit I do. I carry heavy plastic bags of groceries from Ralph's, and I walk and I walk and I walk and I walk to the bus stop. I tap my card, and it doesn't feel like a casual grocery shopping session. No. Every fucking step I walk with those plastic bags, every time I'm moving with my heavy luggages and I'm asking people for help, it's like survival. I hate doing all of that. So if I'm not happy here and I'm not happy there, then I'll be never happy anywhere I go in life. I am forever cursed with unhappiness. The first week of November was a little better for me. But the second week of November, just in the last 3-4 days, was terrible. I was at a low point. The lowest point since the whole little incident I prefer not to say her name anymore, but I mean, I can say her name. Why not? But it got worse. I just there's so many reasons to it. I realized that I have 1 month left in Hong Kong. 1 month. And I still haven't really done anything. I thought I'm going to, like, the moment I get back to Hong Kong, I thought I'm gonna go places, but I just there's nothing. There's nothing to be had. Well, maybe at least I can hang out with friends. Maybe hang out with Natalie or Cedric. But both of them are ignoring me. Both of them don't text me voluntarily anymore. Both of them, it's like I don't matter to them anymore. I'm not important in their eyes. But it's not the end of the world because we have Zara, Leia, Miriam, who are treating me really well. And I hang out with them and I have lunch with them and I talk to them occasionally on social media, which is nice. But still, Natalie and Cedric are really important people in my life. And to think that important people in my life can just disappear because I've grown distant from them, it's just really depressing. And then I don't know why, but like this anxiety, this romantic relationship anxiety, romance anxiety, it's a real fucking thing. Even Miriam experiences it. I'm 21. I can't call myself a teenager now anymore, and I still haven't dated, haven't had a girlfriend, haven't even held a girl's hand. I mean, I've hugged a girl, you know who. And not just any hug, but like a romantic hug, if that's the thing. I think that's the farthest I've ever gotten, really. And the older I get, the more I'm anxious, the more I feel, oh my god, I'm missing out. All these people younger than me by years, and yet they're already onto their second, their third, and they're all enjoying their lives, and they're posting selfies on Instagram, like, oh, anniversary, 1 year anniversary since we started. Like, fuck you. What have I done wrong? And so I get this anxiety, like I have to find one. I have to find one. Maybe I'll find one at USC. Maybe blah 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 blah. And it's really bugging me. And then another issue is the money. Again, I found 4 jobs, and none of them are real, and I'm not really earning much. Even with 4 jobs at once, right now it's 3. Right now it's 2 actually. I'm not earning much money. I had a goal of earning 20k dollars, Hong Kong dollars, within 3 months, which is actually kind of possible. But convert that to US dollars. That's 2,800. 2,800 means nothing. I have to pay 130k US dollars in for USC in total for 2 years. So 2,800 literally is smaller than 1%, I believe. Yeah. I think it's just like 1% or something. 1 or 2%. That's like nothing. It's nothing. It's no matter how hard I work, no matter what I do, it's not even gonna earn for what it's worth anyways. And I'm beginning to have many other struggles. Again, I'm spending all my time here, and I'm trying to self-improve in many ways. I go downstairs, I go to the park downstairs of my apartment, and I do push-ups. I even do research on what kind of push-ups I can do. Pike push-ups, which are for your shoulders, and it's incredibly difficult, but there are like progressions. So you put your knees on the ground first, and that's the easiest version of the pike push-up. I did that first, and my knees are actually hurting because I'm doing a lot of those pike freaking push-ups. I'm doing sit-ups as well. I jog and I lift. I don't have dumbbells in my home, so what I do is I get a gigantic bottle of clothes washing liquid because it's really heavy, and I just lift, even though it's not really doing anything. But I'm trying at least. I'm self-improving. If I'm not working out, I'm trying to write a script. If I'm not writing scripts, I'm trying to draw. I'm trying to practice drawing. If I'm not doing that, maybe I'm going to work. I'm trying to earn money. I'm trying to improve myself on all fronts. And it's still, for some reason, a lot of people are like, oh, when you do these self-improvement things, you tend to get happier as a person. I don't. I get more and more miserable. I think I'm just an expert at being sad and miserable. And it got really fucking bad 2 days ago, I think, on November 12th, because I and Nick went back to the school, not just any school, the school. If you know, you know. And it's been 2 years since I've returned there, and that place is a fantastical, magical place. Like, it's, in one breath, it's full of nostalgia. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's lovely. It's warm. In another breath, it also represents all my insecurities, like, you know, not having any friends, being laughed at, being looked down on, trying to have lunch with the boys and then getting rejected, trying to find a seat at the chemistry lab before getting pushed away, trying to talk to Natalie, who sat beside me for a couple months but couldn't say a single word to her because there are cooler friends that she can hang out with. All those things. But that's not even the point. You know what the real point is? The real point is on November 11th, the day before I went. So when I went there, it was a Sunday. On the Saturday, Natalie, Kingsley, Olivia, Antison, Hector, Andy, Leia, a bunch of people went there. And at first I'm like, well, that's great, because they are the problems. The reason why I felt so insecure and sad back in secondary school was because of those people. I'm glad I don't have to see them. You know what? I'm not glad. Maybe I should have seen them because I wanted them to see that I've changed and see that I'm cooler now, that I've worked out and my shoulders are wider, that I've longer hair and I look more normal now, that I'm cool now, that I'm more charming now. And I just get angry and I'm like, why do I care what they think of me? Why am I still jealous and angry? It's like I've never let go. I thought I've let go, but I really never have. And I realized that it's literally the same thing. I went back to Hong Kong thinking that I can finally be someone whom I've always wanted to be. After so many years of feeling like a loser every single day, maybe finally I can change for the better. And I want them to know, because they have no right to be happy and successful, and they have no right to, they can enjoy their lives, but why can't I? That night was really rough. I didn't cry, but I was too tired to cry, and I wasn't in the mood for crying. It was more of a melancholy. I listen to music, I eat food, I just feel like shit. I just can't focus. I can't do anything else. Just sad thoughts, sad feelings kept sticking onto me. It's like a curse, and I felt like I'm being suffocated. And around the same time, I've been diving deeper and deeper into Buddhism and the idea of embracing emptiness and nothingness, because that's literally life, and I shouldn't worry about earthly matters like money, fame, and lust, because these things are very surface level. And that's so true. I haven't attained that emptiness yet, but I want to, and I don't know how. And then I talked with a friend on the phone, and I'm really glad I had this talk. Because while I can't say that right now I'm 180 degree turned, like I'm a happy, positive man now. That's not true. I'm still fucking sad and miserable. It's almost like a superpower that I can be sad and miserable in any condition. Like, you can put me in any place in the world at any time, and I can be sad and miserable. But I think this marks a change. I feel like what I thought I was going to get by going back to Hong Kong is to be successful, is to be surrounded by people who look up to me, who think I'm cool. Maybe finally I can be happy and successful. Happy because I'm successful. But maybe the real thing I'm going to gain in Hong Kong is something so much more spiritual. Maybe I am going to embrace nothingness and emptiness. Maybe I don't have to be successful here. Maybe there's a long road ahead of me, there's a huge career ahead of me, and there will be way more opportunities ahead of me. And another thing is, um, I've had this thought for quite some time now. I need to train myself to be happy, even without relationships. And when I first had that thought, it's like, man, only losers think like that. You only think that thought because you don't get any girlfriends. You don't have any relationships. So you're like, oh, well, I guess I can be happy without them. But actually, no. It's actually a great thought. Because relationships shouldn't fix you. You should already be fixed before having a relationship. And I think that's a huge, huge, like, thing that I'm learning now, I'm realizing now. And I think that's true. I need to work on myself first. And it's okay if I don't have relationships. It's a lie that you need to have a girlfriend, if you're a straight guy, that is. You need to have a romantic partner in order to be happy. And I'm being reminded of that constantly because of society, especially in LA with the hookup culture. Benny hooking up with Ariel, fucking Birkin holding hands and hugging Liana every 5 seconds. And, again, the girl, People keep reminding me how cool and happy you are when you have a relationship. But that's not true, is it? There are also people out there who is single, doesn't date, maybe they've never dated, and they're still happy. So why can't I do that too, So, I thought I'm going to be ultra super depressed after November 12th, but I've decided to put myself back on my feet and continue forward. And strive for positivity and be happier, which very much goes against who I am. I feel like I lose a bit of my personality by trying to be positive because being negative is like my thing. It's like my signature. All my short films are fucking miserable. But that's all the more reason why I should strive for positivity. If my art is so negative and pessimistic, and I create those art, I need to keep myself mentally in check. And I need to keep being positive so that I don't get sucked in by my own art. So that my own art doesn't own me. So that I own my own art. And so I think this marks a major change in my life. Or not major, but subtle. And that is, from now on, not only will I be healthier, but I'll also try to be happier. I'll also try to reach out. You know what, Natalie and Cedric, they're ignoring me. I'll still keep talking to them because I want them to know that I still treat them as friends. And if they keep ignoring me, well, that's fucking sad. That's gonna hurt me. But I'm not gonna let that stop me. And I'm gonna let them know that I still treat them as friends. I'm not gonna be all awkward. I'm not gonna be all like dodgy and be like, why aren't you replying to me? No more of that. I'm sick of those things. I'm sick of being afraid and hesitating to speak to people and thinking, oh my god, what if they're annoyed by me? I'm sick of it. I'm just gonna be myself. If I'm confident, if I'm happy with myself, and I go to USC and I'm already a fixed person, then so be it. Full stop. Period. I'm not gonna give myself like a condition. I'm not going to say, oh, if I'm confident and happy in USC, then I'll be successful. I'll get a girlfriend. You know what? Fuck that. Even if I don't get successful in USC, even if I don't get a girlfriend in USC, even if I don't earn a lot of money in USC and I remain broke, you know what? Let's not even think about that. I should not think about that. It's unhealthy for me to think about that. And right now, I should be confident. I should be happy, and um, and yeah. And going back to LA is gonna suck. I have 1 month left. 1 month and 3 days actually. 1 month and 3 days. So basically 1 month. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my time here. Right? I'm not gonna focus on the money and all the anxiety stuff. No, 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 no. I'm just gonna hang out with friends. I'm just gonna eat good food, and I'm just gonna chill for 1 month. In LA, I'm gonna survive a day at a time again. I'm gonna struggle again. I'm gonna live on the dollar. I'm gonna pay my rent. I'm gonna pay my tuition. I'm gonna cook lunch and dinner. I'm gonna survive and survive and survive. But that's okay if I have friends here in Hong Kong and I have family here who still supports me from across the ocean. And it's okay if I'm happy with myself. I'm gonna go out there on the battlefield, in the trenches, recharged, and ready to frickin' roll. And hopefully my words hold up. Hopefully this video ages well and doesn't age poorly. Hopefully half a year later, when I'm fighting for my life in the dirty battlefield of USC, I look back at this video and say, hey, it's still true. So, yeah, these are my thoughts. Yeah.